This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider, Marcel Jacques.
All right. There he is. Let's bring him aboard. How you go? Looking sharp and everything. You're wearing a suit for us, right? Not for ESPN.
Just for you. Nah, man. Just did a YouTube show with Sal Palantonio, man. I gotta at least try to dress the part, man. That guy's a legend.
Yes,
I can't look like a bum. Not a complete bum, at least.
Yes, definitely. Sal Pal is definitely a good dude. Your interpretation of the game, because I guess Cam and I had a little bit of a difference. Because to me, I kind of, I thought they did a pretty good job overall, bro, for 3 quarters, and that last quarter, the crap finally hit the fan. Without your starting tackles, your starting corners, and your third quarterback, man, I think you can only do so much. And I thought they kept it afloat. Could they play better? Of course, but that fourth quarter, wasn't surprised in a way, man. So you tell me, how bad do you see it? I guess.
Look, I want to be clear. This was definitely a winnable game, even despite the backup tackles, the third string quarterback, out your top 2 corner. This was still a winnable game. The Jets they're not that good. They're not 23 points better than the Dolphins. And just to get it out the way, yes, at full strength, this is probably a decisive Dolphins win. Mike McDaniel kind of said it best. He said, to say the wheels fell off is accurate. It's accurate. The defense kept them in the game throughout this contest. They were down 12-0, bang, bang, right away. Only allowed 5 points, or 7 points for the rest of for the bulk of the second half. Okay. I think they were right. They were there. Are there things that you want to see differently? Of course, you would love for the offense to be a little bit more efficient through the air, but that's kind of what happens when you have a 7th-round rookie, a third-string rookie in his second game that he was even active for, first game actually going in and playing, and prepared as a backup throughout the entire week. Like, he was good in the preseason.
Marcel,
this isn't
Tom
the preseason.
Brady. But Tom Brady, Marcel. But Tom Brady and Tom Brady and Tom Brady. What are you talking about, Marcel? That happens all the time in the league. 6th and 7th rounders come in and kick ass all the time, Marcel. What are you talking about, bro? Skyler should have kicked ass.
I'm not going to take anything away from Skylar Thompson's arm talent. There were a couple throws here, the one to Gesicki specifically, that they were on the money. He has the arm talent. But this is not the preseason, and what they did, they threw a different look at him after halftime. And as you could see, his processing speed kind of slowed down there. He started to hang on to the ball for too long, started trying to make plays that weren't there, and did not protect the ball. That's what happened right behind me here when he was strip sacked. That essentially blew the game out of reach. I think I don't expect him to have to start against Minnesota next week. Teddy was not diagnosed with a concussion. In theory, it should be easy for him to progress through concussion protocol if he is sans concussion. So I think at the baseline, Teddy should be back. But if not, and Skyler has to prepare as a starter throughout the week, I would assume that we would see a better version of Skylar Thompson come Sunday. But it's tough because even with a backup quarterback, even with all these injuries, this was a game. It was a game you really not needed to win, but you really wanted to come out of MetLife with the dub. I know you're playing with house money kind of at a certain point, but you really wanted to win this one to kick off this stretch of all winnable, fairly easy games. It's the easy slate of the schedule. This is when you wanted to see Miami start to hit its stride, and kind of sputtering into it on a 2-game losing streak, regardless of the situation, regardless of circumstances, it is unfortunate. But I also want to say my take on the concussion protocol here, on how it was applied today. Obviously, this sucks, man. If you're a Dolphins fan, you're angry. You're understandably angry. You're rightfully upset that somebody who cleared concussion protocol completely, was ruled out because of the ataxia clause when a spotter thought he saw Teddy stumble. I don't want to take anything away from that. I would be mad if I was a fan of this team too. But the NFL told us yesterday it was going to err on the side of caution, that it was going to show an abundance of caution. And what that means is that sometimes players are going to be placed in a concussion protocol who do not have concussions, which, again, I'm going to say it again, that sucks for the team. That sucks when you lose your quarterback on the first snap of the game. It's unfortunate. But if the alternative here, and don't apply context here, just hear me out. If the alternative is putting a potentially concussed player back in the game and putting him in danger, this is going to be the lesser of two evils. It sucks. That's why it's still evil, but it is the lesser of two evils. So the protocol was applied as the NFL saw fit. I think the NFL accepted the fact that, yeah, sometimes guys are going to fall through the cracks. Sometimes we're going to place a guy in protocol who really just had a elbow injury, or maybe he just took a misstep on this crappy turf. Like maybe he slipped or something. But the alternative is what it just went through last week. You know, whether or not Tua was concussed, I'm saying any player being placed back in the game who maybe passed the evaluation because he could answer the questions, but it was a late showing concussion. If that's the alternative, this is the evil that the NFL is going to take. So you're rightfully upset, you're rightfully angry, but this is kind of the new normal now here. We might see some rule changes implemented. I think personally, you're going to need an emergency quarterback clause. You should be able to have an extra roster spot for a quarterback in case something like this does happen. Because I mean, Jesus, man, look, if the NFL does not want another Kendall Hinton game, they do not want that.
No,
nobody wants that because nobody's going to watch that. You might watch it and laugh for about 3 plays, and you're gonna be like, "This sucks. I'm gonna go play video games. I'm going to go outside."
Your third stringer will suck too anyway. So your second stringer, there's a good chance he's going to suck also. So it's not really going to save you, but at least they play that position. All right, now let me ask you two questions before I let you go. One, I can give the team a break because I know that they were behind the 8 ball completely without Tua, the tackles, the corner, without the 2 starting corners. It just changes everything that you have to do on defense. The one thing that I cannot continue to give a break is, where the hell is the pass rush? You got your 2 sacks from a safety and a linebacker. The defensive ends are not doing their jobs. The defensive line is not doing their job, and it doesn't matter what team they're facing. They are not putting enough pressure on the quarterback. That is the one thing that I will be incredibly critical on. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the sack numbers obviously are not there. The pressure numbers were incredible. They're incredible against Buffalo. They had a lot of opportunities to do so, but 26 pressures is still 26 pressures. I'm not blown away. I don't freak out and fret over low sack numbers though, because I think sacks are misleading. They're not always indicative of a successful pass rush. They're just indicative of a pass rush finishing the job, like completing the play. But a successful pass rush is anytime you make the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's comfortable doing so. And that is really what this defense is predicated on, not necessarily bringing the quarterback down.
Negative yards is important too.
It's
yards,
important.
Fumbles.
It is important. It is the most successful pass rush. The most successful pass rush is a sack, but that it's not the successful pass rush. I think if you force the quarterback to get the ball out of his hands quick and take a check down instead of allowing a route to develop, or force him to throw into a tight window and one of your ball hawks comes away with it and you create a turnover like that, I'm just saying there are multiple examples of a successful pass rush. And like some factors that you can look into to see if something's going to even out is pass rush win rate, where the last time I checked, I'm going to have to go upstairs and recheck it and I'll tweet it out. But the last time I checked, the Dolphins were in the top 10 in that category. And then pressure rate, where again, the Dolphins were in the top 15, I think 16, top half of the league in that category as well. Because if you're creating pressures and you're winning your pass rushes, then before long, the sacks are going to come. Like I said, you're going to progress to the mean. But if you're not winning your rushes and you're not even creating pressures and your sack numbers are low, that's when you know, okay, there's a significant problem here. I think they have the players to do so. They have the players to create pressure on the quarterback. They have the players to have a successful pass rush. It's a matter of letting the, I guess, again, letting the natural order kind of restore here. And sometimes you got to get creative. That's why we saw Brandon Jones right here drag down Zach Wilson. Like, this is not something new. You know what I mean? Like, this is a fix. This was something that they did frequently last year. Javon Holland and Brandon Jones led all defensive backs last season in pass rushes and in pressures and in sacks. Like, they do this a lot. I don't think we have seen it as much this year, especially with Holland. I think they're using him a lot more as kind of like that deep safety center fielder.
No, but I want it natural, dude. I want it from Agba. I want it from Phillips. You know, I want Sealer to get in there. I want Wilkins to get in there. I want some guys that are supposed to be, you know, harassing the quarterback a little bit more. I don't see enough of it, man, and that's a concern. Like today was the day to get after this kid and force him into a mistake or two, you know, and I felt bad for that they couldn't get that. Now, one more thing, Terron Armstead. I don't know, dude. I don't know anything, but I just get a feeling this thing is taking a turn for the worse. Yes. So, yeah, go ahead. Your thoughts?
Yes. I mean, it's not taking a turn for the better. Like, so I'm not going to sit here and say he's out for the season now. Like, expect the hell to break loose. But they did schedule an appointment for him in New York where he's going to see a specialist. He's not returning back to Miami with the team. He is going to stay in New York and go to that appointment. It was something I think they were prepared to deal with for the entirety of the season. It showed today that that's not going to be possible, that they're going to have to find a fix for this ASAP. I wouldn't be shocked. If they sit him for a week at least. I wouldn't be surprised. Just to see if naturally healing will help. I don't know what, you know, scheduling an appointment like this. I don't see a way that you can do that and expect the doctor to say, you're fine, keep playing on it. Like, no, they're probably going to say, like, you might need surgery, you might need to rest on it, you might need this or that. The most logical explanation here is that he probably misses some amount of time. I don't know if it's going to be extended. I think it's too early to speculate, but he probably misses some amount of time.
Does he know they have steel toe boots?
I don't know if those are even allowed on the field, man. I think that somebody would find a way to take advantage of that, man. But it'd be nice to get some protection on the cleat. I think Tyreek Hill would love that too, man. He got stepped on pretty good today. He left the locker room in a walking boot, which in and of itself is not necessarily a dangerous sign. Like, walking boots are used pretty liberally in the NFL. Like, it's just precautionary. At least that's what our understanding of it is.
Listen, what we do is we create a GoFundMe page, right, directed at Randall Hill, and we like deposit in an off-seas account. Since Randall, I think, is Randall Hill still the fashion police there at the stadium for the players?
I have no idea, man.
Natmore for years used to be the fashion police. And I know Randall Hill's the fashion police. I don't know I think he is the fashion police still. Where he goes down there and goes, oh, yep, that's not the proper belt there. No, that's not Gucci.
Yep. And those socks are not. Those socks are too low.
That's it. They're not Fendi. You're out of here. So what we do is we have a GoFundMe page. We send, maybe some overseas Bitcoin to Randall Hill's account, and he overlooks Terron Armstead when Terron's now on the road games. We have no, we're going to have to find out who the guys are on the road. That'll be different. But at least in the home games, I think we can rig it by paying off Randall Hill. I'm just saying. I'm trying to help here, bro. I was trying to help the Canes. I was trying to help the Canes by kidnapping Arande's kid from Syracuse and bringing him down to the University of Miami. They need a receiver. What the hell's Arande's kid doing freezing his ass in New York? Come on, man. Bring him over here. I'm just trying to help, man. I'm just trying to help.
Thinking outside the box. But
just a little outside the box. That's all. So, yeah, I'm just afraid that I'm about to hear Terron Armstead surgery done for the year. I'm kind of terrified of that.
Look, like I said, too early to responsibly speculate beyond what I said before, which is I think the reasonable expectation is that he misses some amount of time. I'm not saying multiple weeks. I'm not saying multiple weeks. I'm just saying if you think this is a big enough problem to schedule a meeting with the specialist where your team captain is not traveling home with the team.
Not so good. Not
I
so
don't.
good.
It's not. It's not a good sign. It's good for his long-term health. Like, it's good for Terron. Like, it's just the first step toward his toe hopefully getting healthy. But as far as the team playing with their best offensive lineman on the field, it's not a good sign. I don't know if I'm calling it explicitly bad, but it's not great.
How long have you been in this business?
Defined business, covering the NFL or in journalism period?
Covering the NFL.
This is season number 5, I think.
Okay, this will be
Season 5.
I'm completing 33. I'm thinking about this. Give me an in-season toe injury that ended up well.
A lot of it is pain tolerance, and you got to use your toe a lot. It's hard to tolerate. You can only tolerate it for so long.
I don't remember anybody recovering from it inside a season. Is my point.
I did just see somebody sit out a whole year with a finger.
90-something%, it becomes a detriment to that player's season the entire time. Now that I'm thinking about this, and I'm going, man, I don't remember a guy that had a toe injury in the middle of the season, and all of a sudden he got healthy by halfway the season or 3 quarters.
That's hard. Like, I don't know how to kick my feet like an offensive lineman, but if I'm just naturally going backwards on either foot, that's a lot of pressure there on the ball of your foot, and ultimately what I assume is just big toe. Like, it's not like
and then when you collide, you then need to use those toes to then use leverage to push back.
He is a big guy. That's a lot of force right there on that toe every single snap, and moving so quickly. And, one misstep, if it's a twinge of pain and you react to that pain, these are freak athletes, man. These are the best athletes in the world at defensive end. You hesitate a little bit, they're going right by you, and that's your quarterback is toast. So yeah, it is something that, look, they tried to push through it. They tried to be a tough guy about it. It's respectable. It's commendable. It's still early enough in the season that, it's not going to be the complete end of the world if he doesn't play right now. But it is something that I think if you schedule a specialist to go into the city and stay overnight and get looked at, it's not a great thing. It's not a great sign. So, Dolphins fans, hope for the best here. And also hope that Austin Jackson can be activated this week, because Greg Little has not held down the fort. There's been a drop. Let's say that. There's been a decline from Austin Jackson to Greg Little. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be respectful here.
Yeah, and sadly, the Terron Armstead is trending in the direction of a bad signing. And listen, we all knew he was injury prone, and unfortunately, it's been right from the get-go, and it hasn't been.
I'm not going to say trending in the direction of a bad signing. I think that's jumping to conclusions a little too early.
It's trending
because he is still the value that Terron Armstead brings goes beyond the football field. So it's not like that toe injury and he's just going to disappear forever. His leadership is gone.
Brother,
like,
if he ain't on the football field, he ain't worth it.
Like,
period. Forget about.
No, it's not worth 65 million dollars just to be a good guy in the locker room. Of course not. But I'm saying that he is not valueless. He is not worthless if he is not playing. You knew he was injury prone when you signed him. So this shouldn't be that big of a surprise. You would have hoped that if he had to get injured, like, you would assume, okay, it's late in the season or like after some wear and tear. But I don't know. Like I said, I guess if you're going to sustain a multiple week injury, I guess you would probably prefer it to be early in the year, right? So that you can heal up for the end of the year and possibly the playoffs. Like, the focus right now should be getting him healthy, getting him right, and making sure he is ready for that final stretch. Because if you don't have Terron Armstead in December, when you got to play the 49ers, who had Matt Stafford in hell with backup offensive linemen on Monday, and then you got to play the Chargers with Khalil Mack. I think Bosa's out for the season, but still Khalil Mack. Then you got to go play the Bills in Buffalo, and then you got to play the Packers on Christmas. You don't want to do that with backup linemen. You don't want to do that with hurt linemen. You want Terron Armstead healthy. So, yeah, bite the bullet now. Get them healed up, whatever it takes, and hope that it's a quick and speedy and efficient, effective recovery.
I hope so, because this one's scaring me. Toes scare me, bro. Gone through watching a Rondé down the stretch, OJ McDuffie, Zonka. I've seen several players go through that toe stuff, and it is just a crippling thing for them when it's all said and done. All right, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Marcel, as always, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
You got it. And don't forget, myedgedrink.com, the finest energy drink on the planet. You can't get it in a store. You got to go online, myedgedrink.com. Use our code Big O and save 10% off right there. Big O, use the code myedgedrink.com. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. That's the beautiful part about it, okay? It's great that it's delicious. It's awesome that it's smooth. But all these stinking sports drinks, they have aftertaste, and I hate that. And Edge has no aftertaste, zero aftertaste. It is outstanding, and only 78 calories, and a great elixir. Just was drinking on Friday with a little vodka. So go to myedgedrink.com, use our code Big O, get 10% off.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.